Hello, welcome to Andertons TV. My name is Jack Duxbury, he's the Maltese Falcon. Woo. And all the way from the US of A, we are joined by...
Jim with Modal. Hey.
Hey Jim, what's up, brother? Word on the street is there's some new operating systems out, and you know all about them.
Oh, yes, as a matter of fact. A lot. Just so much. With the shooting of this video, we've already released the Argon8 V3 firmware, and I'm happy to announce that and I gave it to you earlier today, we got the Cobalt8 beta V2 firmware, and it's chock full of features too. I want to show them all. They're awesome.
Let's do it. What's the headlines for like a Luddite like me?
Enhanced analog modeling. So there's a lot of carryover from the Argon8. In fact, almost everything, I think, from the Argon8 has carried over. So all these same effects that were new to the Argon8 V3 are now in the Cobalt8X. So, you know, all the new distortion types, pre-filter drive. That's not an effect, but that's a big mention. I'm going to go into that a little bit. And then the analog emulation. By that I mean free-running oscillators, and then the vintage parameter, kind of turning all 8 voices into their own discrete kind of behavior, driven characteristics. Differentiation, basically, giving it more life, more lushness. Yeah. Actually, as a matter of fact, I have a really good example of the free-running oscillators and the vintage parameter, and I'm just going to kind of turn them up slowly, and you're going to just hear these massive changes and hear how fat and lush this thing can get. What we have here is retrig turned on. This is one of the new features. This is free-running oscillators. It's not turned on yet. I want you to hear the difference, basically kind of the samey sound, the sort of phasing you hear. Right? Turn this back up here. Okay. Watch what happens when we do free running. Different every time. You hear that kind of same phaser trig every time? Right? And that'll of course change depending on the detune. Right? If you have it really close, it'll sound like one oscillator. You detune them a little. Every time. Same characteristic. But free run, completely different every time. So this is a much more natural sound, and rightfully so. It's mimicking analog oscillators. So here's what we do to make it even fatter. We add in some of the vintage. That makes every voice have its own distinct characteristics, tuning between oscillator 1 and 2, filter cutoff position, and some of the envelope characteristics. And best of all, pre-filter drive. If we change it to my favorite, ladder 24 dB. Add a little bit of drift. A little bit more detune, we're right there. Okay, cool. We've done that part.
Whoa! Where were you when I was doing my Behringer UBXA video, man?
Right. Yeah, there's a bunch of different new filters. A lot of them are ladder filter types with different poles. So 4-pole, 3-pole, 2-pole, 1-pole. All with high-pass variant and a band-pass variant, as well as drive on all of them. And you can see here on the Modal app, when you change the filter type from one of the originals to one of the new ones, this changes to drive. So you can fatten up your sound almost instantly. And if you want to fatten it up even more, you can turn on something like one of the new kind of utility effects, which is the compressor, right? So you got your dry mix here. You can turn down the threshold, crank that ratio up. A healthy amount of attack and a little bit of release and some makeup gain. You give it a punchier, get some envelope going here. Or make it double voice and stereoize that. Stereoize, I guess that's not really a word, but
it is now.
There we go. Yeah.
Wow.
Stack 2.
Lovely chords, mate.
Yeah, thanks.
Really nice. It sounds like even the Falcon's getting excited back there.
Yeah.
He's flying around. Unbelievable. What a great thing. I love this idea of improving products through operating system updates. I think it's the back yonder days for me. The Access virus was a great. Still is, you know.
Oh, I had one. Yep, I remember.
Same bit of kit, just that, and I've seen it recently with some of the other brands like Akai, who are just bringing these crazy updates.
Oh, yeah.
And when you
when
you flicked on that free button, you're like, why wasn't it there in the first place? But because it's such a big change there, I didn't realise that would make such a difference.
Well, here's the funny thing about that is when you mixed it to like the two oscillators on the on the Cobalt, they can spread. If you're using the bread and butter, waveforms, the triangle, sawtooth, square, it's basically the one you start with, the algorithm you start with. That has a spread, as parameter B has the spread ability, and that actually clones an oscillator, and that second oscillator is kind of free running. You don't get as much of that phasing kind of sameness. So you were still able to get those kinds of sounds before this, but now you're able to actually mix, the oscillator 1 and oscillator 2 discretely, mixing together, and that's when you would hear the retrig essentially happening, is when you mixed oscillator 1 and 2, you'd hear that phasing. And now you can turn on free running and you'll never hear that phasing. So yeah, a lot more smooth kind of lushness to it.
Thanks so much, and thanks to you guys for watching. And remember, I don't know if you're already subscribed, Jim, but if you are a subscriber, you are in the running for one of 3 synthesizers that we've got up for grabs when we get to 100,000. And also be sure to click on the other video that we did before as well. Go watch that, because not enough of you watched that, but we've tried to be brief today, haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, hopefully you'll appreciate it out there. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much, Falcon. And thank you, mate. I hope you have a lovely day. I'll see you again soon, hopefully in the flesh.
Yeah, hopefully next time.
See ya.
Thanks for having me. See ya.